G'day everybody, welcome to Pub Yarns. As you can see, still not the pub, but anyhow, that's another story. But anyhow, let's get going to last week's recap. Okay, last week we had the first game up, was in Canberra. It was on Thursday night, which mystifies me. There was 5 games on, and the NRL decided to have a Thursday night game. Anyhow, it was cold, it was slippery, and it was in Canberra. But that didn't worry the boys from Redcliffe. Even though they're missing 5 Origin players, they all stepped up and they got the job done. The Dolphins walked away with the Bickies 30-22. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins didn't make the top 4 this year. Next game in was 2 teams, like I said last week, are just as bad as each other. And looks like the Bulldogs were the better of the bad. There was a couple of players out for the State of Origin, but mates, when bad's playing bad, only one can win, and looks like the Dogs were them. Dogs won that game 30-20. That's Dogs 30-20. Next game in, St George. St George, come on guys, you must win a game shortly. I don't know where it is, but you must be able to play someone soon to win. Maybe next week, Broncos, maybe. Anyhow, we'll see how we go when I go through that. So the Broncos played the Wars. The Wars are still flying high. They're in second place in the competition ladder. And they beat the Dragons 30-12. The big thing about that is, what did the Panthers do last week? Panthers beat Dragons 28-6. So maybe the Dragons are getting better, or maybe the other teams are getting worse. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Next game in after that was another tight one. It was the Sea Eagles versus the Titans, and yeah, those Sea Eagles are still flying fairly high since Kieran Foran's taken over, and without Turbo, they're still winning. So the Sea Eagles won that game 12-10, so well good for the Sea Eagles. Next game in was the Cows versus the Rabbits. The Rabbits got a few injuries and a few people out. Cows got a few people out also with State of Origin duties. The only reason why I took the Cows because they're up there at Cow Park, up there at Townsville, that's what I call it, but anyhow. And but the Cows, they still come away with the Bickies, 30-18. Alright, now on to round 13. First game's in is the Sharks versus the Sea Eagles, and this is going to be a very tight game. It's anybody's run. They're at Shark Park. Turbo's still out for Manly. It's Friday night. Nico Hines didn't make the New South Wales side. He's got something to prove. It pains me to say this. I think Manly might just have the edge on the Sharks, so I'm going to go to Manly by 2. Next one's on Saturday. It's the Eels versus the Knights. Knights are at home. Eels aren't playing that good. Their for and against is the second worst in the comp. They're at minus 144. Newcastle Knights are sitting in 5th. Parramatta's sitting in 14th. You'd have to be a brave man to take the Eels, so it looks like I'll be taking the Knights. By how much? Knights by 10. Next game in is the Tigers versus the Dogs. Both sides are as bad as each other, but the Tigers, they have jumped out very well early in the season and the Dogs didn't. Tigers. Dogs got a couple of players playing State of Origin. Luai's still in there for the Tigers. Tigers by 2. Very tight game. Round out Saturday's game is going to be Melbourne Storm versus the Roosters. The Roosters have got a few people playing the Origin. Storm's got a couple. Storm's no good this year. They're almost down there at the bottom. They're minus 18 on the scorecards. They're 15th spot. The Roosters, where are they sitting? that plus 61 in third spot. Down there at Amy Station, down there at Amy Park in Melbourne. Roosters. I think the Roosters has got enough in it. I'm going to go Roosters by 4. Next game in is the Brisbane Broncos versus St George Dragons. And is this the one the Dragons can get their win in? Let's see, fair few people playing State of Origin from Brisbane, but not Reece Walsh. And he'll have a point to prove, I think. And it's at Brisbane. I'm tempted to take the Dragons, but I'll be taking Broncos, but not by many. Broncos by 4, eh? Next game in is the Canberra Raiders versus North Queensland Cowboys. Once again, down there at Canberra, but it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which could have a bit of a telltale with the North Queenslanders being a bit cold in that, but I dare say after last week they'd be fairly well acclimatised because they were down in Sydney last week. So I think is Dearden still out? Drinkwater will be playing, Dearden will be out. It's Sunday, so their State of Origin players should be back. I'm going to go with North Queensland again. They're playing pretty good. And where are they on the ladder? North Queensland in 6th. Canberra Raiders at 12th. Canberra Raiders at minus 86. The Cows at plus 27. I'll take the Cows. Cows by 6. And here's the big clash. It's the Panthers versus the New Zealand Warriors. Notice the Panthers are on Sunday. They've got the longest turnaround coming out of Origin. But will they rest players? Will Cleary be rested? A couple other guys? Toho? Yo? Will they all be rested? Kiwis? If the Kiwis are going to win a comp, I've said it once, I'll say it 100 times, this is their year. And for them to win a comp, they're going to have to beat somebody. And this is the team they have to beat. If they don't beat the Panthers this week, they're really not contenders. So I'm going to go with the Wars by 3. So, yeah, let's see how that rolls. Alright, like and subscribe. Leave your tips down the bottom if you want to. Last week I got 4, the week before that I got 7. So I'm not going too bad. I'm only 5 away from the top of the ladder in our tipping competition. I'm on 60. Top player is on 65. So we'll see how that goes. Alright, recap time. Looks like we've got a whole heap of close games in this week. So I've taken Manly by 2, Knights by 10, Tigers by 2, Roosters by 4, Broncos by 4, Cows by 6, and the good old Wars by 3. So that rounds out this week in totally, and I'll see you all in the next one.